Okay, this exercise 23.3, question 5, okay? Drawn below is the graph of the function f of x equals 3 minus plus 2x minus x squared from a range of values of minus 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 4. Another word for the range of inputs is domain. Or sorry, the different inputs is domain, okay? Now, find the roots of the equation when f of x equals 0. That basically means when y equals 0. We know the answers are going to be 1 and, minus 1 and 3. Okay, that's part 1. Part 2. Find the values of x for which f of x equals 3. Well, f of x equal to 3 on these 2 points here. The output is 3 when the input is 0 or 2. Find the value of the output when the input is 2.5. So where is the input 2.5, lads? Tell me where? Oop. Where's the input 2.5, guys? Anybody? X equals 2.5. You go across and over, and what do we get? About 1.7? Yeah? Anywhere in that region will do. Does anybody in the class remember how to find out? Does anybody in the class remember how to use the calculator to find out your answer exactly? Replace x with 2.5. Okay, so f of 2.5 is what did we say, about 1.7? So if you want to find it out the other way, do this function here. We're going to get 3 plus 2 times 2.5 minus 2.5 squared. Now somebody be so nice as to tell me what that is. It's 1.75, so we're pretty close with our estimate from the graph, weren't we? Okay guys, number 4. The maximum value of f of x. What is the maximum y value? Maximum y. 4. Okay, part 5. Find the coordinates of the maximum point. What's that? Coordinates of the maximum point. 1, 4. Find the range of values of x for which f of x is increasing. What does increasing mean? Increasing means you're on your way up the hill. If you're decreasing, you're on your way down. So when do I stop increasing? At what value of x do I stop decreasing or increasing? 1. So you're always increasing for any values bigger than or smaller than 1. Smaller than 1. So how do I write that down? X less than 1. Any x value smaller than 1, you're on your way up. Okay? Next one. Find the range of values of x for which f of x is positive. What does f of x mean again? The y value is positive. So where's the y value positive? Am I positive yet? I'm at minus 5. No. I'm at minus 2. No. I'm at 0. Am I positive now? No, you're neutral. You're not positive, you're neutral. And then what happens when I go up? I'm now positive. Then I stop. I'm neutral again, and now I'm negative. Any number between minus 1 and 3. How do I write that down? How do you write down mathematically numbers between minus 1 and 3?
Minus 1 is less than x.
Yeah.
And 3 is greater than x.
No, 3 is not greater than x, because you have 3 greater than x. Example would be the number 4, and the number 4 means y is positive. Negative, I mean. So what you're looking to do here, guys, is you're looking for any numbers between 1 and 3. You're basically looking at this region in here. See it? Because this region is where it's bigger than 0. It's positive. Okay, can anybody tell me another way of writing this? You can say x is bigger than minus 1, but x is smaller than 3. There's another way of writing that. You could say minus 1 is smaller than x is smaller than 3. Then when you combine these together, you get this answer up here. Is that alright? Now guys, what about number 8? The equation of the axis of symmetry. Where's the axis of symmetry, guys? X equals 1. It's the line that goes down the middle. Okay, so x equals 1. See the way it cuts it in half? So it's x equals 1. Alright guys, moving on. Okay, moving on. Okay, so that was number 5. And what we're going to do next is we're going to be doing number 9, wasn't it? Okay, number 9. Use these graphs to solve the equation. Now, see this here. What's this the same as? But it's the same thing as y, isn't it? Because y is 3x minus x squared. So this question in fact becomes y equals 0. Where is y equal to 0? Can anybody tell me?
0.
And 0 and 3. X equals 0, x equals 3. I'm going to solve this algebraically as well. What can you take out of both of these? You don't have to do this, by the way. I'm just showing you how to, as a backup.
Yes.
Take out x and you're left with 3 minus either the first number equals 0 or the second number equals 0. First number equals 0 will be x equals 0. Second number will be 3 minus x equals 0. Bring the x out the other side and we get x equals 3. Everybody happy with that? Right, next one. What's this the same as? What's this the same as? Can anybody tell me? Y equals minus 3. Okay? And when y equals minus 3, what is the answer for y equals minus 3? Anybody? Minus 1 and 4. Who got that one out? Well done. Minus 1 and 4. Now guys, what's another way of solving this if you're asked to do it using algebra to solve, not using your graph? How would you do it? Bring the 3 over. Minus x squared plus 3x plus 3. Then what would you do? Sorry? And you'd multiply by minus 1 probably first, would you? Just give me a second with this. The answers are 1 and 4, aren't they? Minus 1 and 4. Okay. And the reference number. Okay, so the reference number would be what's it? It's going to be, I took it out here, so I got minus x squared plus 3x plus 3, didn't I? Then I'm going to change that into guys, I just drew out that graph here, and we can see that it's -1 when it's when it's -1 when y equals -4. Now there's a problem with the graph in the question. The graph in the question is not at -4, it should be down here. So if I was to alter this graph, it's actually shaped like this, okay, as opposed to the other way. So there's just a mistake in this question here, okay? So you can't actually solve this one. So using the graph, you'd get the answer -1 and 4. But the graph in the book is actually drawn wrong. Okay? Next question. This is our equation here. Okay? So what's the answer to the first one? Y equals?
Yeah.
No, sorry, this one here. Y equals 0. Which is? -1 and 4. Okay. And what about the next one? The answer is y equals -2, which is down here. And do we know what that is? We don't know exactly what these values are, do we? No? What would be a good guess? -1/2 and 3.5, okay? Now, how can we find out for sure? If I was to write this down, how would you solve that? If I asked you to solve it algebraically, how would you do it? Anybody? -2 goes over to your side? -2. Now, this can't be solved using reference number, okay? Because it's -2. And -2 will give you -1 and 2, or -2 and 1. None of them make -3. Do you got it? So we have to use what? -b. A equals what? Now compare this equation I wrote down to the equation above it. What's A? B, C, it's 2, okay? And you can put in the -b formula. Now I want somebody quick on the calculator for me, please, okay? -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. What two answers are we expecting? We're expecting -1/2 and -1/2 and 3.5. So let's see if we get close. Alright, so we're going to get 3 plus or minus b squared, which is -3 squared, minus 4 times 1 times -2. Can somebody put the square root into the calculator for me and tell me what you get? All divided by 2 times 1. Okay, just sit down, bro. Okay guys, what's this in the green bubble or in the pink bubble? Calculator, come on, who has it? That's alright. No, just what's in the pink bubble? Root 17, thank you, Oscar. Now here's what I want you to do next, okay? I want you to do two separate sums. The first one is 3 plus root 17 over 2. Oscar, you're going to take that. Who else has a calculator on them? Greg, will you take the second one to the right? 3 minus 17 over 2. And tell me what the two answers are. What are we expecting? 3.5 and -1/2. Let's see if it works out.
3.56.
3.56 for this one here. And the other one? Dara, do you have it? -0.56. So guys, we were very close with our estimate, weren't we? So it shows you that the maths of using the graphs works the same way. Okay? Now, there was no need to do that, by the way. I'm just showing you that you can check your answer if you have time. Okay? Now guys, next one. This is the graph of 3x squared minus 5. Use it to solve the following equations. What's the answer to the first? What's the first equation rewritten as? Y equals 0. And where does y equal 0? Give me an estimate. Minus 1 point. Sorry? Minus 1.4. Yeah. And the other one? Plus 1.4. Okay. How would you figure out for sure? 3x squared minus 5 equals 0. 3x squared equals 5. Yeah? X squared equals 5 over 3. X therefore is the square root of 5 over 3. Or plus or minus the square root of 5 over 3. What's the root of 5 over 3?
1.29.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. So 1.4. Not as close as we like. 1.3. I suppose it's 1.3, lads. We got 1.4. It's as good as you can do with the graph. Okay? So the actual answer will be 1.3. We went for 1.4. But as I said, how long did it take me to check that? 10, 20 seconds, okay? What about this one here, guys? What's this question? Y equals 20. And how do I check y equals 20? Oh, sorry, not check, but how do I do y equals 20? What's my two answers? Minus 3 and 3. So what we get there is x equals minus 3, x equals 3. Now, what does this mean? For what values of x is, what's this thing again? Y smaller than 20. When is y smaller than 20? Let's figure this out. Okay. Is it bigger or smaller than 20 at the moment? Bigger, 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 bigger. Stop. Equal to 20. Smaller, smaller, smaller. It starts at what x value, guys? X equals minus 3. And when does it end? Smaller, 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 smaller. Now it's equal to 20. Now it's bigger than 20. So when does it end? How do I write that in maths form? I did it earlier today. Minus 3 is smaller than x. X is smaller than 3. Anybody give me another way of writing it?
Or is it or equals to?
No, because it doesn't say equals to here.
Alright.
Okay. It was less than or equal to 20. When would it technically start? It would start at minus 3 on the dot, which means you'd have two equal signs here, but that's not the case. Okay. Now, guys, so that's it there. Alright. So the next question we gotta do. Number 11. Okay, number 11. Drawn below is the graph of f of x equals x squared minus 2x, and g of x is x minus 1. Use the graph to write down the following. When is the y value of the curve equal to 0? How do I know it's the curve, guys? How do I know it's the curve? F of x is the curve. G of x is the line. How do we know f of x is a curve? If it didn't tell you, how would you know it's the curve?
X squared.
The x squared, thank you. The x squared tells you it's a curve. So even if I didn't put that in, you should still know which one's which. Okay? Now that we've got that done, when is the y value 0? Anybody? X equals 0 and x equals 2. See the way it says f of x equals 0? Yeah? That question means what input is the output 0? Do you understand? For what input is the output 0? You're always going to get an X answer, okay? Not Y answers, X answers. Now what about this question here? Are we going to get an X answer or a Y answer? X answer. For what input is the output 3? Where is 3, guys? -1 and 3. Okay, what about the next one? What does this mean? In English, anybody?
Where on the y-axis? Where on the y-axis? This line crossing.
Where is the y value of the curve equal to the y value of the line? For what value of x? For what inputs is the y value of the curve equal to the y value of the line? Let's look at it. Here and here. Drop down the line. What do you think would be a good answer? Sorry? 0.6 and 2.6. Oh, sorry, 0.4 and 2.6. Now guys, I have a way of doing this algebraically. How would you do it using algebra? What's the formula for f of x? Sorry? Okay. What's the formula for g of x? Sorry? Now I'm just going to bring them over one side. What do I get now? +1. Do you think I can do a reference number for this? What gave you the hint?
The reference number.
And the answers for the last part are decimals. If we do this correctly, we should get the same answer. Let's check it out. Once again, you weren't asked to do this in the question. I'm just showing you how you do it if you're asked to solve it algebraically, which you can be during the test, okay? A is 1, B is -3, C is 1. Let's put it into the -b formula. -b is 3. 3 plus or minus the square root of -3 squared -4 times 1 times 1 all over 2a, which is 2 times 1. So what do we get here, guys? In the pink bubble first. Square root of 5. Now you know the next step, don't you? It's going to be 3 plus root 5 over 2 or 3 minus root 5 over 2. Which one? What's the answer to both of them?
Was it +1? I got 2.61.
That's perfect, isn't it? And what about the other one? Around 0.4 somewhere?
3.8.
0.38. Is that exactly what we're expecting? Yes. Okay. That means we did a good estimate. Okay guys, now let's back to the question at hand. Okay, what range of values for x of x for which f of x is smaller than 0? What does that mean, f of x is smaller than 0? What does it mean in English? The y, what values of x is the y values of which one, the curve or the line? The curve smaller than 0. Let's find out. When does it start being smaller than 0? Bigger, 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 neutral. Smaller, 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 neutral. In English, it's the answers between
0
and 2. Between 0 and 2. How do I write that in maths form?
0 smaller than x.
Smaller than 2. Perfect. Next one. The range of values for x for which g of x is smaller than f of x. What does that mean in English?
The line is smaller.
The y value of the line is smaller than what? Y value of curve. Now let's figure this out. Okay, ready? Which one's bigger at x equals minus 1? Which one's taller? Which one has the bigger y value? Red line or blue line? Red line. Which one's bigger at x equals 1? Which one's bigger? Red or blue?
Red.
Red. Red is still bigger. Now red and blue are equal. It starts at x equals, what did we say this was earlier? 0.4. Starts at x equals 0.4. Blue line is now bigger than red line. At x equals 1, which is bigger, blue line or red line?
Blue.
Blue. When did they become equal again? 2.6. Ends at 2.6. How to write down this in maths language? You know it. What? Less than. Excellent. Well done. Right? Next one. Explain how this graph could be used to solve this equation here. This is interesting. Okay? Explain how this graph could be used to solve this equation here. Now, which of the graphs has a lot in common with this? The curve or the line? And which part of it is the same as the curve?
Squared.
And what happens if we replace that with, what do we normally replace it with?
FX.
Or
What?
y. We're talking about the curve though, the y value of the curve, okay? Y minus 2. What can we do with the 2 then? So this is solving the question y equals 2 for the, which object? For the curve. We're solving the question y equals 2 for the curve. Do you see that? Now how do we solve this then? Where's y equal 2? Up here, isn't it? So what do you think the answer is going to be? It has to be bigger than 2.6, so we're going to go around 2.7. And what about this one here? 0.75? 0.8? So x equals 0.8 and x equals 0.8 and x equals 2.7. Does that make sense? Okay, do you want me to give you another one that's similar? Okay, I'll give you another one that's similar. Okay, try this one. Okay, I got one. Okay, how would you solve this? How would you solve this one here? Y minus 3 equals 0. Okay, and then what? And then what you do? And then the answers will be minus 1 and 3. Okay guys, stop this here.